Of all the options, this was perhaps the least expected. After 168 years of production, the last copy of the last news of the world will roll off the presses this Sunday. We made mistakes, said James Murdoch. Not just the hacking, but out-of-court settlements authorised by him. So the Act of Atonement killed the paper.
I feel regret. Clearly, the practices of certain individuals did not live up to the standards and quality of journalism that we believe in and that I believe in, and that this company believes in.
But for all the contrition, senior executives, including former News of the World editor Rebecca Brooks, keep their jobs.
I am satisfied that Rebecca, her leadership of this business, and her standard of ethics and her standard of conduct throughout her career are very good.
And it's widely assumed eventually the company will simply produce a Sunday tabloid under the Sun banner.
It's a typical management stunt of Mr. Murdoch. What he does is he gets rid of problems, and in this case, nobody in the senior management is clearly involved in these matters. Rebecca Wood's a clear example. None of those go, but the poor old workers at the News of the World are going, and there's no doubt it'll become the Sunday Sun. And I have to tell you, I think the kind of culture that has driven all these kind of circumstances is as much evidence of the same editors were at the Sun as indeed the News of the World.
What I'm interested in is not closing down newspapers. I'm interested in those who were responsible being brought to justice and those who had responsibility for the running of that newspaper taking their responsibility, and I don't think those two things have happened today.
What appears to have forced the publishing giant's hand was an unremitting stream of degrading reports of the hacking of murder victims' phones, the families of those killed in terror attacks, and perhaps the last straw, reports of families of soldiers killed in Iraq and Afghanistan were also hacked. James Phillipson was killed in Afghanistan. His father thinks his son's email account was hacked.
Wrongdoers need to be called to account for what they've done and to suffer whatever punishment is appropriate. I'm sure that'll happen. It's going to take time.
And time is possibly closing in on police named in documents supplied by News International as having received payments from journalists.
The allegations coming from the News of the World, which were given to us on the 20th of June, are quite shocking. That a small number of police officers may have engaged in such corrupt practice, and that's what it is. If proved, it is corrupt practice, and I will be determined to do what we should do, and that is put them in front of the criminal courts.
Now under even greater scrutiny is the Prime Minister David Cameron's former communication director and News of the World editor Andy Coulson, who told a court recently he knew nothing of corrupt payments.
Look, 2 days ago, News International briefed the press that they had handed over documents to the Metropolitan Police that showed Andy Coulson had authorised payments to police officers for information. Either Andy Coulson or News International did not tell the truth.
Truth has been in short supply as the hacking scandal has assumed a life of its own, outside the control even of the Murdochs. If the hope was this would draw a line under the whole tawdry affair, it hasn't worked. There's deep cynicism about this closure and a police investigation yet to come. Philip Williams, ABC News, London.